Hi guys, now these are 3 things to do when you're looking at your next investment property. If you really want to make sure that your area is going to grow up fast in the short term, look at these 3 metrics. The first metric that I want to look at here is understanding the supply. So the metric that we're going to focus on here is stock on market. Now the Australian average stock on market is 2.5 months. What that means is at one given time there's 2.5 months worth of inventory, and if no extra properties get added to the market in 2.5 months, the market would be with no properties. You want to make sure that you're buying in an area or in a suburb that's got less than 2.5 months worth of stock currently on the market. You also want to make sure that the trend of stock on market, the percentage of properties on the market, is getting lesser and lesser as the months continue. The next thing you want to look at here is the demand trend. So for demand, we want to look at days on market. Days on market in the Australian average is 55 days. What that means is it takes 55 days for a property to sell in any given market. You want to make sure that you are buying a property that the average days on market in that suburb is less than 55. The faster property sells, the more that it's currently undervalued and the more chance it's going to have more capital growth. Again, you want to make sure that the trend is going down, say from 60 days down to 45. This is a good trend, meaning that you are going to be seeing good capital growth. And the last one here is vacancy rate. Now vacancy rate is super important. You want to make sure that you're buying in an area below 2%, and again, the lower the better. You also want to be looking at the trend, so making sure that vacancy rates each and every month are tightening. Again, when we really look at vacancy rates, why that's super important is that vacancy rates and rental growth is a precursor for capital growth. So if an area is running out of rentals, most likely that those renters are going to end up becoming property owners. So if you know that there's an area that the rents are going through the roof, or there's no properties available on the market, that's another good sign on strong capital growth for years to come.